Disability Etiquette 101.
I would like to introduce Maria Espanian, who is the Executive Director for the Center of People with Disabilities. Welcome, we're very excited to have you. And Craig Calver, who is Community Organizer for the organization.
What is ableism? Does anyone have just a quick one-sentence definition? Be brave and throw it out there. Perfect. Then you are at the right training, because we are going to help. Everyone will be able to answer this question when we are finished here. So, ableism is the discrimination of and social prejudice against people with disabilities based on the belief that typical abilities are superior. So at its heart, ableism is rooted in the assumption that disabled people require fixing and defines people by their disability. So like racism and sexism, ableism classifies entire groups of people as less than and includes harmful stereotypes, misconceptions, and generalizations of people with disabilities. Why disability etiquette is so important? Because without this underlying knowledge and education, it's hard to recognize when systemic ableism exists, because it's so built in and it's kind of covert. So we have to have the underlying education to really be able to understand and notice when this is happening, so that we're not just letting it slip by. We are all people first. I'm a person with a disability. I'm a person who is blind. And sometimes people do choose to identify using identity first language, but it's always a safe bet to use person first language first, and then listen to how someone describes himself and then follow their lead. But person first language is always a good kind of safe place to start if you're unsure. And here are some real practical things, some do's and don'ts, and we saw a couple of these in the video that we just saw. And again, from here on, there's going to be more kind of specific things that we can think about in our day-to-day life and workplace. So the first one is don't organize or move someone's personal items. Ask first. An example of that are rubber bands. Tape or stickers may actually be tactile markers, and you might just not be aware of that. So always ask, and we want to make sure to be respectful of people's space and areas.
I was just saying that I have a couple of deaf friends, and I have been encouraged to not use hearing impaired, and so that's maybe, I don't know how that's one of the X words, but just something that I've heard from the communities, deaf or hard of hearing.
And that's a really good point. This list here is not covering everything, and it always really comes back to, they don't teach you how to wheel with one hand. It always comes back to listening to the individual and really respecting how they want to self-identify. So no matter what is written up here, this is not the 100% truth that has to be listened to. Always default to treating everyone like a human and asking them how they identify or want to be called. Is a pet or animal prescribed by a licensed medical professional to provide support for individuals with mental health disabilities? So emotional support animals have the right to live with their owners, which is protected under the Fair Housing Act, and travel on airplanes, which is protected under the Air Carriers Access Act.
What are some of the opportunities or trainings that you do offer to the business community? Because their staff is usually not trained, and managers usually do not know how to handle situations. They come to the office, claimants come to the office as presenting claims of being discriminated against because of their service animals or emotional support animals. And I think on the education piece that you are talking about, the business community too.
Yeah, thank you. We would love to provide service animal training and disability etiquette trainings for businesses as well. So if you have anyone that reaches out to you with that request or the need, please refer them to us, and we can help provide this in training to their staff so that they can help understand it better and know how to navigate these situations.
So we have a responsibility and a desire to serve everybody in our community. And we learned today in the disability etiquette training just how many people in our community have a disability or are living with a disability. Some are visible and some are not visible. And it's very important that we be able to adjust our services and programs as well as our facilities so everybody feels welcome.